Welcome into Paul Catalina's Top 5, brought to you by Flag and Anthem. And if you've ever said to yourself, gosh, I want to look like that big old biscuit baby right there, go to flagandanthem.com. Use our promo code 365sports. They're always running specials. They've got some great looking gear like this shirt right here. Today, we're going to go key defensive questions for the big games this week. And yes, the first one is about Alabama and FSU. May not be a big game to you, but it's a big game to me. And this is the only one of this series of two of defensive and offensive that we will discuss this game. But it is the only way that Florida State can really win this game against Alabama. The key matchup here, the Bama D versus Tommy Castellanos. Bama's defense has trouble with little rascally quarterbacks. So what Tommy C needs to do is channel his inner Diego Pavia, because Diego Pavia beat this Alabama team last year. Now, granted, different players and all of that, but if he wants to befuddle the Tide defense, he has to do what Diego Pavia did. Create in the pocket, move around, make big plays with his legs, make them cheat up and get some of your athletic receivers, all of which are new, out there in space and make some plays and then open up some things in the running game. That's the way it's going to happen. Otherwise, that's all she wrote, and FSU is 0-1. Number 4, the LSU defense versus Cade Klubnik. How much has Blaine Baker been able to improve this defense year over year? I got my man Whit Weeks here. Garrett loves Whit Weeks. I love Whit Weeks. He is going to be a key here. I have a feeling he's going to be he and Harold Perkins are going to be spying on Cade Klubnik, keeping him in the well. He can have a very Aaron Rodgers-like effect on a game because he just kind of rolls out of the pocket and then creates that way. If they can keep Cade Klubnik in the well, LSU probably wins the game. Or if they can keep him in the well enough, we'll see. Number 3, and I put my little clicker down. Baylor secondary versus Auburn wide receivers. Baylor secondary was the most troublesome part of their defense last year. Dave Aranda, in an interview with Ross Dellinger this week, said that he has changed up a lot of things on defense. He's made some new wrinkles. The players are all a year older. They've got some new players in. But Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, those are big-time wide receivers who can bust even the best of coverages. So, can Baylor and their new looks on defense befuddle Jackson Arnold and keep these receivers in check? It's a big challenge for them week 1, but I do think if they rise to it, you'll see a lot of people start to notice the green and gold nationally a little bit more. Number 2, Miami's run defense versus Notre Dame. They brought in Corey Heatherton from Minnesota. He's their new defensive coordinator. Last year, run, pass, whatever it was, Miami couldn't stop it. They could not stop it. They were a wet paper bag on defense. What happens this year against, in the first game, one of the best offensive lines and running backs that they're going to see all year long, and a running game which is going to be built to help their young quarterback, C.J. Carr, who will be in his first start. So they're going to get a full dose of Jeremiah Love and his compadres, and that offensive line is tough. Can they, week 1, make big strides and show that they truly are ready to return to the national scene? Number 1, Matt Patricia versus the Texas offense. Congratulations on his massive weight loss and a nice little beard trim here. But this is his first time calling plays in college. And the first time he has to do that, albeit at Ohio State with a, abundance of talent, is as the defensive coordinator against a team that might have one of the best offenses in the country. In Arch Manning's first start, or not his first start, but the first start of the true Arch Manning era at Texas. That is a huge, huge, huge thing. And Texas, while they've lost some guys on offense, they're brought back a lot. They're going to have a very, very dynamic running game with C.J. Baxter and Quintravian Weisner. Jack Endress, the tight end, just will step right in for Gunnar Helm. Plus, they still have studs at wide receiver all over the place, like Ryan Wingo, who they'll have to contend with in his true sophomore season. So is Matt Patricia up to the challenge now? I don't know. I think if this team winds up 9-3 this year, it's because probably of Matt Patricia and the turnover they've had, particularly on that side of the ball, All 4 starters along the defensive front are gone. 2 linebackers, 2 defensive backs. Now, granted, in the back end, they still have the best player in America in Caleb Downs, but we'll see how they scheme him up against Texas. That's going to do it for this top 5. Andrew Valade delivered some polls, and it would be wrong of us to completely ignore them.